Smoking the water bong, bruh.
You think you're so much cooler with your 303 megabit download.
Well, it is impressive.
Well, I restarted my computer and I ran the speed check again, and I got 93.7.
Okay.
How about that?
Wow, that's really good.
And download was 22.36 Mbps. How about that?
You mean upload?
I mean, yes, upload, yes.
Yeah, the upload is really where it's at. Like normal people who use the internet, they need fast download speed. But for us, we need fast upload speed. So I pay extra for upload stuff.
Yeah, I pay extra too. And
Do you?
You know what? They throw it in your face. They say, "Oh, we didn't promise that. We said up to whatever the limit is that you pay for upload speeds." And then
Wow.
they say things like, "Oh, well, the cabling is old, so it needs to be replaced."
Who's your provider?
Spectrum.
Oh,
Spectrum.
Verizon.
The one time I tweeted because the internet went down like 6 times in 2 days. Like it just went out. And it went out for a few hours at a time. And I guess there's a limit they have in place where they don't prorate your bill unless it's out for 12 hours or whatever it is.
Okay.
And over the course
significant amount of time.
Over the course of a few days, it was probably out for the 12 hours.
Right. Just not consecutive.
Yeah. So then, they don't prorate it, but.
Right. They should have.
So I tweeted at them. I went on Twitter and tweeted for the first time in over a decade. Actually, not over a decade, about a decade.
Just to say this one thing?
Yeah, my Twitter, when I did use it before, was only about sandwiches. Every tweet was about a sandwich. And, I was chatting with the Spectrum people online. I tried to call. They give you the runaround. They never have answers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought to myself, I'm going to tweet. And almost immediately tweeting at them, they responded.
Wow. What'd they say?
They apologized, and I didn't even care what they said. At that point, it was more of an experiment to me, just to see.
Right.
And it's like they're more concerned with the image they have. Optics are key as far as they're concerned. Who cares if the service is shit, and who cares if when the person reaches out individually, we don't have answers for them. But the moment they do something publicly, even if this person only has 35 followers, gotta be careful, because that hashtag, people are going to search that hashtag.
Yeah,
and they're
Spectrum sucks.
I think that was the hashtag Spectrum sucks. I forget exactly. Maybe it had to be Spectrum sucks. I like pretzels. Twitter.
I thought it was something about sandwiches.
I know, it's all over the place. My username is at I like pretzels.
Yeah, what does he like? Sandwiches or I can't remember.
And then it was only about sandwiches. Here we go. And then I don't want to switch to the app. I'm not going to get the app. Apple apparently told Twitter if they didn't get their shit together, they're going to remove the app from the App Store.
Ooh, what shit do they have to get together? Isn't it still just functioning?
Yeah, I don't know if it was when all the fear of hate speech was flaring.
Oh, okay.
And Apple was being proactive, saying, if this gets out of control, we're going to take you off. Whatever, Apple controls everything about their environment, and these app makers can't stand it. Because they do have outsized power. Apple says, we're not putting you on, then it cuts off a lot of fucking people. Okay, here's what I tweeted. Oh, I just tweeted hashtag Spectrum outage and hashtag Spectrum. I didn't say Spectrum. Sucks.
All right, but Spectrum outage. What did you say?
This is the 4th official Spectrum outage in 2 days and comes after a year of some of the spottiest internet I've ever experienced. It's not cool how there's no offer of a prorated bill because the outages didn't last long enough. If you added up all the time it was actually down, the cumulative would be outrageous. On top of that, loyal customers are locked out of promo deals, and at times the lack of appreciation for these customers borders on disdain. Instead of trying to grow to the point of nationwide domination, a better path would be to shore up current operations and build a respect amongst current subscribers. But I guess when the end game is forcing people to use Spectrum because they have no other option for service, the report holds no significance. And yes, I tweeted for the first time in a decade because this has been such an ongoing issue.
You're so eloquent.
Let's see what their response was.
For Twitter, especially, but just in general.
I understand the frustration that issues on the account can cause. Please follow DM your account information and or your address and phone number so that we can access the account and review.
Oh.
I didn't respond.
Did you do that?
No. What are they going to do at that point?
They'll give you a prorated thing. It's like you kind of got what you wanted, and then you're like, no.
Because it's not really about saving $2 in the long run.
Well, how much would they prorate it?
That's the thing. If you were down for
$20?
if you were down for a day and say you pay $60 a month, 30 days in a month, you're paying $2 a day. They give you $2. Who cares?
Yeah. And what was the point of tweeting at all? Just to make your sort of make it known that you are unhappy?
Yeah, I guess so. It was more, like I said, it was more of an experiment by that point.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if I tweet if I'll get a response. And I did.
It is crazy when you call the companies and sort of what they tell you, because I mean, the people that you're talking to probably don't know any more than you do. They're like, yeah, it's out. How will it come back? And you're like, yeah, it'll come. Yeah, we're going to get it connected, but then you should be fine.
I know they can't fix it. And sometimes I know they don't have information.
Right.
I think, do I really want the $2 in the long run? I don't care. I think the offering of the $2 goes a long way. It's like, oh, they're thinking about this. That's a nice gesture. That's all I'm looking for. And, so my contract's coming up at the end, June. So I've got several more months.
For Spectrum?
Yeah. So because I moved, I got some special, which they always try to force TV on you and home phone. It's like, I don't want a home phone. I don't want TV. Like, oh, well, if you get the TV and the internet and the phone, it's $80 a month, but the internet alone is going to be $160 a month. It's like, what? I don't.
Well, then what's the point? Just get those other things. It's not like you have to then buy a home phone.
Well, they also had, you can have digital cable. There'll be no actual cable to your TV, but you can watch online and you can get the internet.
I didn't know they had that.
For this package deal of $60. And I said, okay. So when that's up, the prices are going to jack up, and then any new promos they have going on are not accessible to you because you've already been a customer.
Right, yeah.
Like,
but then this is what my dad always says. He always says, all right, well, then tell them you're leaving. And they'll be like, oh, no.
Yeah, but where are you going to go? I think that they know that it's a bluff sometimes.
Yeah, because I've tried to do that with Sirius XM, because he always tells me, like, when your thing is up, call them and say you want it for this cheaper price or you're going to leave. And it's like, I've done that before. And they're like, well, okay. Because where else am I going to get internet radio from? In my car that's set up for, like, it's called, the dashboard says Sirius XM on it. Like, it's ready for it. I'm not going to get something else.
Where else are you going to get Stern?
I don't listen for Stern. I listen to the weird little stations.
No, you listen for Stern, a Stern lover.
Yeah. The most Stern I've ever watched is from that movie that he made.
Private Parts, but he's so different now. That was a long time ago.
I'm just saying and I don't think I've watched it since then. So
with Spectrum, I think I've tried that. And like, okay.
Yeah, bye.
Being in New York, there are two other options. I could get Optimum, or I could get
Optimum.
Yeah, Optimum cable internet, which used to be Cablevision, and then
Cablevision. I'm glad they changed their name.
And then FiOS. But even though the selections are here in the city, they've got it so sectioned off where it's like across the street could have FiOS, and then you reach out like, oh no, your building is not wired for FiOS. So
then wire it, bitch.
You would think it would be in their interest to wire it and get as many customers as they could, but
Yeah.
I feel like there's some kind of legal things going on where Spectrum has staked its claim. So even though I'm in a city with millions of people and 3 service providers, rarely do you even have an option still. It's like, the only one that services that apartment, that building, is Spectrum. So deal with it.
Yeah,
All right.
not even a second choice.
No, and that's what
You
they
have
want.
a choice between Spectrum and Verizon.
That's what they want. Everyone, capitalism's the greatest. The competition. And so, the competition. Where Spectrum doesn't have to provide you good service because you have nowhere else to go.
You have
And
no other option. Yeah.
they're well aware of it.
Ugh. Stupid. Well, I'm happy with Verizon.
Yeah,
Verizon's been pretty cool.
that's why you have that 300 download speed and that
Yeah, dog.
100 upload. I'm doing
Pay
that.
like $81 a month, but I just had to. It just went up because I got my kids these like Gizmo watches to track them, and when they're riding their bikes away, and I can see where they are, and they can text me and call me and stuff. So I'm paying like $10 extra a month for each of their lines.
Would you freak out if your kids were out and you didn't have no clue where they were?
No, that happens all the time.
That's
Because I didn't have they just got the watches for Christmas, so I haven't been able to do that. But when they're out riding their bikes, I'm like, well, they're around somewhere.
I think about that. That was the way it was when I was a kid. When you were a kid, I would just go out and like, all right, see ya. And then my mom would say, come home when the street lights turn on.
Mm-hmm.
And they would just have to hope that you were okay and you would show up. And now you've got gizmos to track your kids at all times. I don't know if that's
I mean, my mom, if I went into anyone's house or like if I was going to a place.
Hold on, let's just start the show. Let me play the music.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I thought we were started.
I mean, this is all
I know,
part
we didn't
of,
introduce it at all.
Just we can tie it into your Christmas. I'll say, hey, Autumn, how was your Christmas? And you can say, it was wonderful.
Okay.
I bought gizmos to track my kids.
Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
My name is Greg Russ. Hey, Autumn, how was your Christmas?
Hey, Greg, it was great. I got my kids a Gizmo something watch to track them when they're out riding their bikes.
Wait a second. Why do you want to track your kids when they're out? Remember when we were kids, nobody tracked us. Our parents just had to say,
True.
well, I hope that they're going to come home.
That's true. What did your mom say to you when you left the house?
Actually, for as anxious as my mom is, I'm surprised that she was. It wasn't like helicopter parenting or anything. It was like, all right, go off, go do your thing.
Maybe she offset it with like a lot of cleaning.
Yeah, our house was immaculate at all times. Both my mom,
right, and you guys didn't do shit.
Both my mom and dad. I didn't really make my bed.
Right.
I didn't.
Did she make it for you?
I didn't do. She would make it. I didn't. I guess at some point you take that for granted. You're like, my mom's gonna make it, but I didn't care if it was made. But she would go in. There were no chores that I really did. I would mow the lawn sometimes, but my dad was so particular about that. He's like, no, I'll do. I don't like the pattern you mowed.
Pattern. Gives a shit.
So I didn't have an allowance though either. It's like I'll pay you to do your chores. I didn't do chores, and I didn't have an allowance.
My kids have an allowance, but they don't do shit.
Then why are you giving them that allowance?
Because I want them to have their own money.
So thinking you're the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the problem with youth.
I'm the whole problem with youth.
Giving them money for nothing.
Yeah, I'm powerful.
Here you go.
Well, they do sometimes. Like I make them fold their laundry, but I usually fold their laundry.
Here you go,
But
Ellie.
if they're home and the laundry needs to be folded, then I make them fold their own. But they don't do it well.
Here you go, Ellie. You told me to shut up. Here's $5. Here you go, Pete. You spit your milk into my drink. Here's $5.
That does sound like something he would do.
Here you go. Oh, thanks, Mom.
Like Ellie will be, she'll want some dumb, stupid thing. And she's like, I'll buy it with my own money. I'm like, no. It's my money. You're like, I know, but I'm smarter than you.
Well, if
This
it's
is not something you should spend your money on.
yeah, but if it's her money, she should be able to spend it on whatever she wants to spend it on.
I know, but she doesn't have the frontal cortex to know that what that means when you spend your money and it's gone.
And
She just wants it now. She wants it now. She wants it
yeah.
now.
Don't care how.
I want it now.
But that's how they learn, right?
She wants a bean feast. What the fuck is a bean feast? The dad knew, like, oh, one of those.
It's a very British thing, I think.
I want a bean feast.
I've always questioned what a bean feast is, but yeah, I assume, I don't know, it's a British thing.
Yeah, they do put like beans
On
on
toast.
like pizzas and stuff. They love fucking beans. Oh,
Beans are good.
guess not really.
Bean
Weird.
feast. A bean feast, also known as Beano in Britain, is an informal term for a celebratory meal or party. Especially,
Oh, really?
Yeah, especially an annual summer dinner given by an employer to their employees. Its probable origin is the 12th Night Festival from the Low Countries. By extension, it describes any festive occasion with a meal and perhaps an outing.
Wow. Okay. I feel like if you tried to make some cute little thing, inviting your friends over for a bean feast, they would assume that it was some sort of like baked bean making contest and they would bring different types of beans. And then the British person would just show up like with a boombox and a cooler.
A bean goose is a migratory bird. So a goose is the reason of the feast, and if you tie it to Willy Wonka and the Factory, you have the goose laying the golden eggs.
My goodness.
Though the goose has been dropped out of the name, goose was always the staple of the entertainment. A bean goose is a migratory bird arriving in UK in autumn, going northwards in April. It takes its name from the likeness of the upper part of the bill to a horse bean.
What's a horse bean?
So there you go. A horse bean is a type
That gave me more questions.
It's just a type of bean, and I guess the pod looks like the beak of
Okay.
the goose. So it's a bean goose. And then the goose was dropped, and you just had bean feast, and there you go. So now it makes sense. It's not a feast of kidney beans or black beans or refried beans.
Gross. All of the black eyed peas. Disgusting.
You like beans, huh?
No, I don't.
Baked beans?
I like baked beans only because they're like full of sugar. Like the whole sauce that it's in is nice. But even the sauce, I like to doctor up with like brown sugar and ketchup and mustard. And
Isn't that already in the sauce? Isn't that the whole thing? Is brown sugar?
I know, but I
and
add
ketchup?
more to it because I actually don't really like it.
Do you like the big slabs of pork fat?
Yeah. It's the only redeeming factor. Otherwise, and then you're like slogging through these mush things that
Delicious.
ew, and refried beans just make me want to die. It was like gagging.
Bean farts don't really smell, so I don't
Bean
think.
farts,
Yeah, people are like, beans will make you fart.
magical fruit.
Yeah, what is it?
More you eat.
Is that what it is? Beans are good for the heart. The more you eat, the more you fart.
The more you fart, the better you feel. So lift up that leg and let one squeal. That's what we said in school.
I don't want a squealing fart.
I know.
A high pitched fart.
That's a tight squeeze.
Barely.
If you're farting like that, yeah, tight butt.
It's good to loosen your butt. That way it doesn't flap and you can fart
Hey,
silently.
spread your cheeks apart.
Fart silently and nobody knows unless the stench is so awful.
Oh, the worst.
But beans, I don't think, lead to smelly farts. It's the meat, right? Meat quite often.
And maybe some like, what are those vegetables, like cartuberous vegetables or something? Like I forget what the word is, but like broccoli can make you Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, but do those... I know that they make you fart, but do those farts smell? I feel like it's...
I thought they did.
The sulfur is what makes farts smell. So foods rich in sulfur.
Well, I don't think it's just, I think it's how your body processes the food. and then create sulfur.
Well, it turns it into hydrogen sulfide. The gut bacteria. The butt bacteria. Yeah.
From gut to butt.
Beef, eggs, pork, fish, poultry. They're the ones. I mean, you're right that broccoli makes you fart. I just feel like if
Doesn't stink.
if somebody said I had a large steak and I haven't pooped in 2 days,
Ugh.
or I had a whole thing of broccoli and I haven't pooped in 2 days, so it's really stewed in there, and you had to breathe in one, I'd say, all right, give me the broccoli fart.
Give me the broccoli fart.
The beef one, the rotting meat.
I love that idea. That like weird thing that's perpetuated by people that are vegetarians. Like, you have 20 pounds of rotten meat in your gut. That's not how things work.
The
You're an
gum I swallowed when I was a child is still in there. Actually,
You never digest that. You have food sitting in your colon. No, you don't. If you did, you would be dead. You'd be poisoned by the food.
what is it? How long did they say the gum sticks in your stomach? Well,
I don't know. Is it 7 years?
Yeah, or it gets
That
into
might be a dog.
maybe it's not your stomach, but it gets in. I heard that at some points like it goes in your appendix and it stays there. No, people make shit up.
Yeah.
Then people don't question it and they just run along with it. Like, yeah, that sounds good.
Did you know? I guess it's because it's not really that important. And then it's a fun little fact to give people. You know that? Way, really? Whoa.
There's a
Do you
lot.
know that when I stabbed my leg with a pencil and now it's there forever? Leg poisoning.
It's stuck in there.
Yep, stuck in there forever.
Even though the pencils haven't been using lead in a long time.
Right. I had lead poisoning and my body isolated it, and that's why it's still there.
Graphite.
My blood is lead.
Anyways,
My dad's a cop.
so
Do you ever have kids that like make that shit up to you when you're in little like elementary school? My dad's a police officer and he gave me a bite. I ride with him sometimes.
no, I didn't. I don't think I came across people lying about that. Maybe I did.
There was a kid in my class he was, I went through elementary and middle school and high school with him, but he told us in kindergarten or maybe first grade that his dad was a cop and that he gave him a motorcycle and that they ride together. And then also I would sing the Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, Robin laid an egg, and he would get really mad because his mom's name is Robin, and he would like punch me in the arm. Like, dude, I'm not singing about your mom.
Thank God his mom's name's not Karen.
Oh, your poor mom.
They destroyed that name. I think of those Google charts. You can type in a name and it shows you the popularity over the course of years, hundreds of years. And Karen is just going to drop. It's a cliff, and nobody's going to use it. And people don't even use it correctly now. They just throw it out there. Anyone who's being annoying is a Karen. It's like, get the fuck out of here with this.
Karen, Kevin's, Keisha's.
It's played out. You're not clever. It's not cool. End it.
It is really antagonistic. Like, I feel like the only way that I'm on your side is if you do not antagonize the person being a Karen at all. You know what I mean? But if you're out there like, okay, Karen, like, ew, you're just as bad.
Yeah, of course, people want that reaction. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole subreddit for Karens. I'm sure. I haven't actually checked.
It's stressful to watch.
Well, I don't like when people are antagonized. I don't like that. I don't get into it when someone's being provoked and then the person gets the reaction they want.
Even if the other person really is being belligerent and like a Karen, I guess, that's fine. But then when you also keep it going, you're just as bad. This is not the meaning of Karen anymore. This is like two people being idiots. Two idiots being idiots together.
I just think of that kid, though. If his mom's name was Karen, he'd do more than punch. He'd probably stab people at this point. My mom's name. You dishonor her.
Yeah.
Her name's
I saw him
Robin.
once after high school. Like, I was back in Lawrenceville for some reason, and I saw him at a Target, I think.
Do they throw parades for you when you go back to Lawrenceville?
Yeah. Not anymore.
She's returned. Yeah, because you abandoned them. Too
Prodigal. Prodigal? Is that the right way?
Pull up the pronunciation.
We need Jared. Prodigal.
He's so late on that. I was doing robot voices on the air in 2005. My God.
I said it right. Prodigal.
Prodigal.
Prodigal. She has returned, the prodigal child, the radio celebrity. That's an oxymoron if I've ever heard one.
Radio celebrity?
Yes.
Yeah.
She has arrived. Oh, do you know that she left Lawrenceville to go to a suburb in Maryland? What? Not even a cool city, a suburb? Yes.
Crofton is cooler than Lawrenceville.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because there's a
I guess
triangle?
the square. I moved away before the square. The Lawrenceville Square was really revamped. So
Yeah, it's a cool downtown area, right? With a main
it kind
street.
of is kind of cool down there now. There's like bars and places to go.
They have a high street.
What's a high street?
It's like the British.
Oh, that like walkable thing.
No, the high street's like the British version of Main Street.
Oh yes, then they've got a high street and they have bean feasts every summer.
I can't believe you ditched Lawrenceville.
Yeah.
You used to be proud of it. Like, I was ashamed to say where I lived.
Yeah, because where you live sucked.
You didn't even know where I lived.
I kind of did. Kennesaw?
Wrong.
Yeah, I know. It's like somewhere else.
It was in Ackworth.
Oh, yeah.
It was close to Kennesaw. But my address was actually Ackworth. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, when I lived in Loganville, it was only Loganville because of like gerrymandering or something. Well, no, because there was a golf court, like a golf club. I don't know if I guess it was a private club. I don't know. And it had to technically be Snellville because they wanted to serve alcohol. And so they moved the lines of Loganville and Snellville. And so we ended up being Loganville only because of the lines moving because of that golf course.
It was the same thing the Braves did. They built their stadium on a piece of unincorporated land.
Uh-huh.
So it wasn't tied to any city, and they just gave it an Atlanta address. So like, see, we're still the Atlanta Braves. Like, get the fuck out of here.
But they're not in Atlanta now.
The
When they
Braves?
moved- yeah.
No, that's what I mean. This new stadium that they built it
Oh,
on
that's on unincorporated?
well, now they gave it an Atlanta address from what I remember reading.
Oh, I thought you meant when they moved into the other stadium.
No, they were already within the Atlanta city limits at that point, so who cares?
Okay.
This is their way to get around it. Like, oh, we play in Atlanta. No, you're the Cobb County Braves, the county I grew up in.
Cobb. Corn on the cob.
Cobb County. Anyway, going back to people who tell stories. I don't know if there were people who told me stories about how their parents were anything cool or they had something. I didn't listen because I wasn't into braggarts. So true, false, it didn't matter. I zoned out. Their stories weren't good enough. I told a really cool story once about how I shrunk down. I was cold and I shrunk down to live inside my shirt pocket. And I had built a little house in there, like a little home, I should say, not a house, because the pocket itself was the house. I built a little home, but then my mom washed my shirt and I got thrown into the laundry and I got sucked into the drainage hole on the washing machine.
And how did you make it back to tell this tale?
I don't remember the rest of it. This was first grade. I remember someone saying, "Shut up, that didn't happen." I was like, no shit, it didn't happen, you idiot.
When you're a kid, you're like, I'm pretty sure that's not true.
Yeah, you proud of yourself? Wow, you really figured out Sherlock Holmes. You're gonna fucking be a sleuth when you grow up. That didn't happen. Wow. Like the person really was.
This is why, because kids are idiots. That's why I don't let my daughter just spend her money willy nilly.
They were this kid was so proud of himself. He's like, I got to lie, and then he started telling the rest of the class that he found me out. I think my teacher overheard it and seemingly enjoyed this story.
Yeah, it's a really cute story.
Yeah, it's a good story.
Uh-huh.
Probably
I
nobody
never had anything fantastic like that. I just lied little ways. Like we always went to the beach every summer for summer vacation, and when I came back to school, everybody always asks, "What did you do over the summer?" Like the teachers, "What did we all do over the summer?" And a lot of people went to Disney World, and so one year I just decided, like, I'm gonna say Disney World too.
That's a sad story. That is the saddest story I've ever heard. Everyone's going to Disney World and you're not, and you feel left out.
I just wanted to not say the beach.
It's very sad. You wanted to go to Disney World.
I mean, every kid wants to go to Disney World.
Both terrible vacations. Both.
Maybe not back in the 90s.
Both awful destinations. The beach, how boring.
Oh, not for us.
Look, going to the beach is nice. There's things surrounding the beach, like the boardwalks and saltwater taffy, and all of that. But going to the beach itself and sitting there for hours, how fucking boring. And then going to Disney
When
World.
you're a kid, though, you like build sandcastles and you ride the waves, and
seagulls come from behind and steal your sandwich.
Yeah,
and shit on you in the process. The beach is better though than Disney World. I know the kids bragging about it. Have you been to Disney World? Did you ever make it? Did you ever?
Yeah, we went in 3rd grade. My teacher let me leave during the school year. Oh, it was during we went. My mom got one of those books about like Disney World, hacks, and one of them was to go during Thanksgiving because no one will be there, and you'll get like cheaper rates, and it'll be emptier. And so we did that, and that was really fun. And my teacher, I guess I was going to be gone when school came back, and part of my way to make up for it was to do like a report on it, so like I kept a little diary every day, and I took pictures, and I cut them out and put them in this book and made like a little thing about how I went to Disney World. It was a blast. It was really fun.
Well, that sounds like a good time to go. The reason I'm saying this is I've only been to Disney World twice. Once I don't remember. I was very small, and apparently the Snow White ride scared the hell out of me because the witch would pop out from various places. Though the ride no longer exists. It's gone at this point.
Nobody gives a shit about Snow White.
And then when did that movie come out? Like the 30s, right? That's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's insane though.
I know.
It's a lasting film with beautiful animation, unlike the shit they put out there today.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I think it's pretty. I can appreciate the hand-drawn stuff.
I was watching some, we can go back to what you're saying, but I was watching some behind-the-scenes stuff for Akira, and that's all hand-painted.
I don't know what that one is.
Oh, Akira is like that really crazy anime movie where like I don't really even understand it. Like a kid is like
I'm looking it
taken
up now.
over by some weird, scary like monster thing, and he like his arms explode. Like it's insane.
Yeah, but that kind of stuff's cool. Not to say that computer animation
Beautifully done.
Yeah, not to say that computer animation doesn't take talent and can't be pretty, but it's something different about it. It's not as personal. Even if a person working on it puts everything they have into it, it doesn't translate the same way to me.
I get it.
But going back to Disney World, and then we went in like 7th grade, and I liked it enough. I liked Epcot for whatever reason. What a weirdo.
Oh, Epcot is cool.
It was I didn't care about Magic Kingdom, but I was just reading about like the lines to ride these things, like over 2 hours, and then you can pay for that pass.
Yeah.
That you still have to wait for like an hour. So what the hell's the point of the pass?
Well, have you seen? I think it's on YouTube, Defunct Land, where they talk about the history of like they talk a lot about Disney World and amusement parks, but they talk specifically about the line issues at the parks and how they tried to solve it in the, I guess, late 90s, early 2000s. And then sort of the pitfalls of that whole thing now. It's really interesting. It's called Defunct Land.
What are some of the problems? Why did it get like this?
Well, the
greed.
What's that?
Greed. They should limit the number of people that are allowed in at any given time, but they don't because that would eat into profit. So pack people in and give them an awful time. What did you do today at Disney World? I rode one thing.
Yeah.
And paid $180 for a sandwich.
I can't remember. I mean, they're constantly trying to figure out how to make the lines less and then also more tolerable, and so they found, they did all these like line scientists, queues where it was like, people like to go serpentine. It makes them feel like they're moving more. Um, Cutting off the visual of the rest of the line, so like if you think about what I think about is like Six Flags,
Yeah, the
when
Batman.
yeah,
ride.
you're like in a cave and you can't see how many people are ahead of you.
You're going through the sewers, but that in itself was worse in a way because I didn't know how much longer I had to go. Like once you rode it, then you could learn the line and knew where you were in the
Yeah.
queue. But the first time, it's like, oh, maybe this isn't so bad, and it keeps going and going. Like that.
You just
See-
hear that.
Yeah, you had to listen to that theme over and over, and it drove you crazy. It was torture. At least with the snaking line, you could see how much more you had to go.
Yeah, maybe like most of the people felt more comfortable not seeing it, but then someone like you, like it's more comforting to know how much longer you have.
Line science. They brought in the John Taffer of line science. You ever watch
Science.
You ever watch Bar Rescue?
I didn't know who you meant, but now I do.
Yeah,
That fucking guy. Why is he an expert?
he invented NFL Sunday Ticket.
I don't really even know what that is.
It was you can watch any game in any market if you pay the extra money to do it, which was a huge thing for bars, but people at home
Oh, I
too.
see.
And he also invented the butt funnel.
Butt funnel?
Yeah, the butt funnel.
I mean, like funneling beer into your butt?
No, that's what it makes people think. But
Oh.
entering and exiting the dance floor, you only have a few entry points, and they become narrow. That way, you have to brush up against people when you're going on the dance floor, and it brings up some sexiness, I guess, or whatever the hell.
Weird.
the
That
idea
seems
is.
like a fire code issue.
The butt funnel. Well, I think that's why they have like dance floors. If they have something surrounding them, it's like a bar that you can easily go under. It's just like a
okay.
railing. It's like a railing at that point, I think. But that was his claim to fame, and now he knows the science of bars.
Okay. Because he did one thing.
Hey, when you watch the show, it's not his fault that these people's bars still go under. They're idiots to begin with. You can't fix stupid, and they refuse to listen to him. I mean, sometimes he makes really stupid choices by calling a bar corporate because it's in a business district and the logo's a man in a suit. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Ew. You'd have to have a very specific sort of like drink menu to pull that off.
Well, that one's worth watching because it was a pirate bar before. And the people who were in the pirate bar, like it was failing, but these people were weirdos and they loved role playing as pirates. And
Oh, God.
he changed their bar to corporate.
I'm sure that fit into their sort of lifestyle completely.
Part of me feels like that had to have been a troll. It's like, I'm going to really just fuck you all over.
It's like, you guys are weird. I'm going to fuck you guys up.
And then John Taffer, he tried to do like a marriage counseling show.
What? What does he know about that?
I mean, if you watch Bar Rescue, he's got the same tactics. He goes in, he breaks someone down, and in some instances, if the person's already hurting enough, like somebody died, he's nice to them from the start. But he goes in, he yells at them, he tells them that they're fucking idiots, and they need to admit that they're idiots. And then at some point in the show, they have a conversation where they really dig into it. What's going on? Tell me what's going on. And he earns their
always.
trust, and they start to cry, and then it moves on from there.
What does he do? He does what the Gordon Ramsay thing is, where it's like they redo the bar, they paint something, they put new upholstery on the booths.
Yeah, it's time to pull back the doors, bust open the books, and make a call for help to Bar Rescue.
Okay.
They usually change the name of the bar.
Yep.
Which people resist. Like, no. This bar has
We're
been here
known.
for 12 years as this name, even though nobody's going in, so nobody cares. It holds no sentimental value to anyone. And yeah, and then he gives the bar a makeover. Redoes. I mean, sometimes it's cheesy looking because the budgets are limited and there's promotional support. So you get a liquor shelf filled with nothing but Bacardi
Yeah, absolute.
Yeah, it's like, okay. I mean, that'll change, obviously, but the person comes in like, oh my God, my bar's amazing. There's nothing but Captain.
Captain Morgan.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's never
anyway,
sponsored by like Goose.
so anyway, you're tracking your kids. This is supposed to be about Christmas and how your Christmas was.
Oh yeah,
And you got your kids some gazebos.
Gizmo,
Yeah.
Gizmo
It
watch or
was,
something.
it was it was Gizmo, but I couldn't. It wasn't coming to mind. And gazebo. That's why I said it. I knew it was wrong. I just said it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Maybe you did get your kids some gazebos and they love them. They just sit outside now in their gazebos.
Mm-hmm. I put a heater out there. They're fine.
I'm sleeping in the gazebo tonight, Mom.
Okay, good luck. I'll see you at 9 p.m.
What if you did get a gazebo and they refused to come in? Would you? I would dress up as a black bear and I would scare them, like in the middle of the night.
I mean, if I had property, and they were just on the gazebo in the backyard, I guess. Let 'em
But what if they
sleep
refuse
out
to
there.
come in? Like days go by, like no, and then you can't reason with these kids these days. You have to scare the fuck out of them. You dress up as a black bear, and like
Yeah, maybe I would resort to something like that.
you paw at their face while they're sleeping.
Rawr.
You have to get a good costume though. You can't get one of those fake ones. It's got to be convincing. All right, so you're tracking them. What is it? An app? So they wear this. What is it?
So they wear a little watch. It is able to like limited texting, where you can say you have a list of things that you can reply, that you can say. But for me, I can text anything I want to them. They can also do voice recordings where they talk to me through that. And I can do the same back to them through the app. I can see where they've been. I can like, excuse me, I think I haven't explored all the things yet, but I can like set timers on there so that when it goes off, they know they need to do something like come back home or check in or something. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But what has been what has been making me feel like it's been a mistake is, Pete will text me something or like do a voice message and send it to me, and I'll get the notification and I'm in the middle of something, right? Like I can't listen to it at that exact moment. And he yells from the room, like, Mom, I sent you a text. You have to reply to my thing. Like, which is fine. It sounds like nothing, but when it's the 12th time it's happened and you're trying to focus on doing or completing a task and you're like, hands are dirty or like your hands are like in the dish, like you're like, stop texting me.
Yeah, learn to take care of yourself. Jesus.
There's nothing to take care of. He just tells me like
No, I
the
know.
voice,
I know.
the voice memos are like, Mom, I'm having a banana.
No, I know that you don't have to go fix something, but when I say that, I just mean learn to be alone and be okay with it and not get immediate reactions.
Ugh,
I know all kids do that. I was,
Here.
for some reason, for years, like when I was being trained to go to the bathroom, like you're taught to tell your parents when you need to go so that they can help, I guess, early on.
Sure.
But I got it in my mind that if I didn't tell them every time, and this was only for pooping, not peeing, because I guess peeing was fast enough, that they may leave the house while I was in there and like just leave me behind.
Right.
So for years,
So they can't see you.
until I was
So
like 5.
you must be gone.
Probably until I was 5 or something, I'd announce it every time I had to go. Not not because I needed help. I was
Right.
worried they'd leave. It's like, I'm going to the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom. Okay. Even if they weren't around, like if they were upstairs, I'd yell it. Please don't leave the house. Don't leave me behind.
Aw.
Then who knew that one day I'd grow into a person who loved being left alone. Like, please leave the house. Leave. Stay gone for a long time. Please.
Especially if you're going to the bathroom.
Don't come back for a few hours. What a change. I thought about that once when I was stoned, walking down McDougal Street in Manhattan at like 3 a.m. I was like, man, baby me would be, if you said, one day you're going to be alone in the middle of New York, late at night, walking. I'm like, no, please. It's the scariest thing. I don't ever want to be in that situation.
Oh God, never alone.
And then there I was walking through scary New York City alone. having smoked for whatever reason. I think that was the night I was playing chess with a man in the park.
Oh, wow.
And I wasn't alone. I was hanging with my friend, and then walked through, and the guy, we wagered on the games. Like, obviously he's going to beat me, and I knew he was going to beat me, and the wagers were like $3 a game, and he mostly just wanted to play with someone. But I was getting really pissed because he was better.
I don't really know how to play chess.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult game. So anyway, you got the gizmos, and now you can track them on an app. There's a beacon that flashes that shows you where they're. What if they lost the watch? And then you thought, oh my God, they haven't moved for 2 hours.
You can contact them. You're like, hey, where you at?
Why aren't you moving?
Yeah. And then if they don't answer, then I guess I'd get in my car and go find that watch.
Man, what a different world.
I know.
I'm thinking of Big, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
How fucked up it was that he disappeared. And I know he contacted his mom.
That was the weirdest part.
He contacted her.
And wrote letters to her.
Yeah. And so it's like he's alive. He's out there somewhere. He's living his life. He's becoming a toy executive. He's banging a woman as a 13-year-old.
Oh, that is the creepiest scene when he like puts his hand on her boob and she turns off the light and he turns it back on so we can see her titty.
It couldn't have been good. I think about the first time I had sex. It wasn't good.
Oh, she must have been so disappointed.
Oh, she kept hanging out with him, so.
Of course, because
apparently it went all right. I guess that ties into a few things, like mentioning being scared in New York, and he's in that flop house, and the gunshots are going off. But he gets
right.
He's crying. He gets
that
used.
Person outside there's a phone in the hall.
And
the guy's speaking Spanish on it.
He cries that first night, and then he's watching a movie where someone's being shot, and they scream, and then he turns off the TV, and the same noise happens outside, but he's not phased this time.
Just eating Oreos. He
grew up quickly. But that parent thing is so fucked up. So even when he shows up, when he's back, and the movie ends with like, "Oh my God, you're alive, you're home." It's like, what do they talk? What did they talk about after that? Where were you? Where were you?
Oh, I was with a guy. He kidnapped me, and they were being really nice.
Yeah,
so.
they really took care of me. Like
what did the person look like? Oh, he's tall.
And then
he had curly hair.
Yeah, and then when he grows up, he's arrested for kidnapping himself.
Yes, he looks like the kidnapper.
The police sketch goes out, and he's the kidnapper. I feel like that situation, as unbelievable as it is, I would go home and I would try to convince my parents.
Yeah.
It's so much
because
worse.
You're a kid. Again, kids are idiots. They're like, I can pull one over on this person.
The mom's so depressed. Rightly so.
Yeah, she's with that walkie-talkie and she's hoping that Josh is talking to her, but it's really that neighbor kid.
Yeah. Well, the woman who has sex with him, it's not her fault. She doesn't know.
No, but God, can you imagine that sex?
Again, she stuck around.
I know, but that's because, like I said, it was like written by a dude, so they weren't thinking about any of that.
Was it written by a dude? I don't know who wrote Big.
I kept thinking it was like a John Hughes thing, but it's not.
What is it? Who is it?
Oh, well.
Penny Marshall.
No, she's the director.
Yeah, but she directed it, so she didn't have to have that scene in there.
True. And Spielberg.
Yeah, a man.
And Gary Ross.
A man and a woman.
And Spielberg.
There's a lot of talk about that, where if it's a young boy who has sex with an older woman, it's not that big of a deal in our society. Like, it's mostly like, good for you, man.
Yeah, it's less of a thing.
And again, we can't put that on her.
No, of course not.
I wonder if she thinks about that role. She's like, ugh. She cringes. Did she not read the script? I mean, at that point, you want to do the movie. And so you're not going to fight it too much. But I wonder if there was any pushback. It's like, do I really have to have sex with them? Do we need to do that part?
It really wasn't necessary. You probably should have cut it. It did not move the plot along.
No, it wasn't needed. Like you
No.
could have just not referenced it. People
It
would
could have
have,
just been really flirty and kind of kissing and like
and people would have wondered, and they could have assumed that it happened. But then you have
right.
plausible deniability. It's like, oh, no,
No. No, I agree. I think they shouldn't have done it.
because it's weird, and it makes
It is weird.
It takes away from the rest of the movie.
I mean, I didn't think about it as a kid. So I guess that's part of the point. Yeah, if you think about it, they should do you know how they're trying to make everything so, like woke, right? So they should make a big but with a woman. And then the woman has sex with the older man. Ew.
No, that's the thing.
Such a different thing.
Yeah, that's our society views it very differently, even though both are fucked up.
Well, in this scenario where it's the boy becoming the man, but still a boy. I mean, she's not the aggressor. Oh, she kind of is in the beginning. She is, remember?
She doesn't know.
Because he's raising up in the company.
Yeah, but she doesn't know. There's no reason to think he's a 13-year-old.
No.
He was 12.
Except for all the ways that he acts.
He was 12 and had his 13th birthday at that Italian restaurant where they sing opera.
And catch the dough in his mouth.
That was a real restaurant. It shut down in 2000, but it was open for like 70 years, where the waiters and the owners were trained in opera, and they really would sing. And they didn't serve pizza. That's the funny thing. It was an Italian restaurant. They didn't serve pizza, but they had that act where a man would come out dressed as a pizza chef and he'd throw dough around. It seemed like an interesting place.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those places are disappearing.
Yeah.
They don't exist. I mean, there's the one diner that's in the Broadway district where they just break out and show tunes. And I went recently. I was thinking, that's going to be so annoying. It was fine. It's kind of fun.
I bet it was fun.
It's kind of fun. I just don't like when people have fun. Like, come on, I just want to eat my overpriced eggs. Leave me alone.
But with Big, if you think if it were the other way around and it was a woman, a girl becoming a man. Sorry, shit.
Well, that's fitting. That's a progressive movie. That's a progressive one.
And then the way that the dude would sort of push himself on her, the adult woman. But like, okay, even in the scenario that exists now, he is acting like a child. But I guess she was so uptight, it like loosened her up.
Well, she had the funny line. She's like, "You're such an adult." I guess because he was direct with things. But yes, he was like a child. If you met that person in real life, like, what is going on with them?
Yeah, he's got a
Arrested Development
trampoline in his house.
Yes, a very flimsy bunk bed.
Ew, that bunk bed. That would be a huge red flag. This is your bed.
Well, outside,
this isn't just like for funsies. You have a regular bed, right?
Outside of that, when she was sleeping in the bottom and he was on the top, that thing is so rickety. I was wondering if it was worrisome to film that scene, and because he jumps on top of it, like he launches himself. And
I don't trust any bed that's made out of metal in that way.
It was a very flimsy bunk bed, but I love that people, and as a kid especially, like, wow, a trampoline in your home, that's amazing, and everyone wanted that stupid piano that they played with their feet.
Chopsticks.
I guess that was a fun scene.
That's a great scene.
Nobody would know how to do that off the top of their head. But,
Robert Loggia.
I mean, maybe some people would know how to do that off the top of their head, but to sync it to sync it like that, you can watch that they're stomping on multiple keys at once, so you know that it was dubbed in. After
No,
the
it
fact.
wasn't dubbed.
Yeah, it was dubbed.
I don't think it was, because there are parts when he does step on it and it makes the noise.
All right, then maybe that's the case.
I wonder if they have one of those, the movies that made us or whatever, about Big.
I think they did 6 of those, and that was the end of it.
Only it was like all Home Alones.
They did, they had a
Think about Home Alone with these Gizmo watches.
They did Elf. They did Coming to America. You would love that one.
Oh, I do love Coming to America. You were watching Ghost today?
Yeah, I was watching Ghost.
Oh my God! What you've seen it before?
I've seen Ghost. Yeah, and Sam Wheat was killed on Crosby Street, which is close to my work. I walked down to the spot where he was shot constantly. I like to
And
go
those
visit it.
those spooky shadow things come after him,
Yeah, I like to go visit it on a regular basis. It's like,
drag him to hell.
not him, but the other people. Sam,
Oh, I was thinking of the bad guy when he gets killed.
no, when Swayze, where he's killed.
I forgot that because you said his name so quickly, Sam Crosby. I was like, who's that?
Sam Wheat,
Oh, Sam Wheat. Sorry.
and he was
What did I-
killed. He was killed on Crosby Street.
My bad.
And then the one guy's hit by a car out near his apartment.
Yeah.
Where Otame lives. That's in Brooklyn.
Oda Mae Brown.
Willie.
You want to kiss my butt?
And then the
I
other,
say that, and I feel like nobody knows what I'm saying.
then the other guy kills himself because he throws that hook as part of a pulley system, and it swings back and smashes one of those big windows, and the glass falls out and stabs
Oh
him,
yeah.
impales him, and he gets dragged away.
And Swayze looks so concerned. It's like, oh god.
But the ghost in that movie who teaches Sam to touch things and push
Yeah.
things and punch, he makes a reference that he was pushed on the tracks and that's what killed him. See, all this nationwide news that New York's going to shit. People are being
I know.
shoved on the subway tracks. It's like, yeah, that's true, but it's been happening for a very long time.
Yeah. People love to sort of glom onto something and say like, this is the thing. This is happening.
New York's dead.
Fuck off.
That's my impression of someone.
I kind of feel that way about Seattle. I know, or is it Seattle? Portland? Where do they have like that block where it's
That was
lawless?
in Seattle, but Portland also was
Well, either way,
involved.
it seems like I take it with a grain of salt. I think. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I feel like it's a tiny portion of that city.
Yeah, but it's a fun story to tell.
Right. And the same thing with like, oh, did you know like New York, the hustle and bustle, the Big Apple, the city that never sleeps is dead. It's a ghost town. People are pushing each other on the tracks.
Yeah, they've always been pushed on the tracks. Though I will say it's sleeping a bit more than it used to. There are places that used to be open 24 hours now close. I don't know if it'll ever fully come back. Maybe they realized, you know what? We make enough money this way.
Let's sleep.
At this point in my life, it doesn't matter as much. But when I was in my 20s, I would have been bummed out. I was like, no, I came here because I like going to diners at 2 a.m. and
Yeah.
staying up all night and doing things. And not saying that you can't do that and there aren't still places open, but it's definitely less than it was before COVID. And if I were moving here, it would kind of bum me out. So yeah, this is what's going on. But that fucked up a lot of people's lives when they were... Anyone who was pretty young stole some years. Stole years away for you to go out and socialize and bang. Whatever it is you wanted to do. Go dance. People like dancing.
Wait, what are you saying?
I'm saying that if you were young, like COVID stole years away from people.
Oh, I see.
There were years they had to sit inside. Like maybe
You were saying you, and I thought maybe you're talking about like the general you, but then I thought, wait, are you talking about me?
no, yeah, just in general. Like, to me, COVID hitting when I was in my
Right, you no bigs.
late 30s, like great. No, I don't have to feel bad for not going out. So anyway, you got this gizmo,
Mm-hmm.
and you track your kids. And that's the topic of the show.
That's it.
The Christmas gizmos.
That person who was talking to you was me, Peter. Bye.
Did you hear what he said?
No, I didn't understand it.
He said the person who was talking to you was me, Peter. Like that's the shit he sends me.
That person who was talking to you was me, Peter. Bye.
PETA from
Oh, Hunger Games.
yeah.
Haha, I sent that to you. Well, Dad and Ellie were talking and I recorded them. Bye.
What did that one say?
He said he sent me a picture of it, like a emoji or whatever of a snake, and then he said, haha, I sent that to you. That was a recording of Ellie and Daddy talking. Okay, well, bye.
Haha, I sent that to you. Well, Dad and Ellie were talking, and I recorded them. Bye.
What does Ellie send? Anything?
Yeah, she sends me stuff. She said,
Do you have to wear one of these watches?
no, it's an app.
Okay.
Oh, and the oil is like.
Oh, it's a bad one. Hold on.
I'll call you when it's ready.
Yeah, you better find a
Okay.
good one because your kids are on display. If it's a bad one, we're all going to think, what stupid kids.
Hey, Mom. Guess what? Today we're gonna keep doing the hand. And I think we're gonna finish it. We have to use oil.
I'm more interested in what's going on in the TV. No shoes,
I know
no
it's
shirt.
so loud.
No shoes, no shirt, no service. And then it seems like someone starts explaining no shoes means.
Hey, Mom. Guess what? Today we're gonna keep doing the hand. And I think we're gonna finish it. We have to use oil.
Oh, they're watching Big City Greens. I can tell by the voices.
I don't know what that is either.
Yeah, it's just a show.
You still have your tree up? When do you get rid of your tree? My tree's drying
Yeah,
out.
I have two trees,
Two of them.
but they're fake.
Oh, you didn't get real?
Nah, didn't.
Boy. This thing's drying out.
I know. Usually, I would water mine as much as I could, and it would just stop soaking up water, and then just get so dry and so messy.
Yeah,
Like, fuck this. I don't want to do this anymore.
that's what's happening right now. Granted, we got this thing the Monday after Thanksgiving, so it's been up a while.
Oh, it's a long time. Yeah.
I'm just going to take it to the park where they mulch it. They chop it up.
Perfect. Is
close.
that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, you can leave it on the street, but they don't start pickup until January 6th. There's no way this thing's lasting until the 6th.
How long will you keep it up?
Normally, I take it down like the day after New Year's, but I'm going to take it down early
Oh, okay.
because it's getting too dry, and
Yeah.
the park's close and the tree's not that heavy. We can easily carry it down. It's a few blocks, and I'll just throw it, and then they use it to put in plant beds and tree beds in the parks and
yeah.
stuff around the city. So that's nice.
I have some Christmas lights up around in the inside around a window or two. I kind of want to keep them up. I just like the ambiance.
Do it. We put up
They're
some.
colored lights. They're not white.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, they're pretty. And they're the new ones, so sometimes I think they have a more purpley bluish light and not like primary colored light.
Yeah, I like the old big bulbs that were glass.
Those are cool. But these new ones are nice too, especially the ones that are LED, those like itty bitty tiny little nubbin ones, because they can do all different colors. You can make them do all types of different things. It's cool.
I know the future is here. The future is
I
now.
know.
All right. Well, that was a nice Christmas episode about
What did you get for Christmas?
whatever the hell it was. I got shirts.
Shirts?
I got
Cool,
shirts.
funny shirts that say funny things like
No. People,
like the dude abides.
no. People know better. I got shirts and candy. People know though. Like, you pick. What do you want? Like Christina put together a list of a list of links, and then I went through. It's like yes, no, yes, no. I made it easy.
Oh, so then she just picked some out of those links?
Yeah, I mean which I don't mind. Like,
Yeah.
there's plenty of times she's thought about things and given thoughtful gifts, and I don't mind. Even if that never happened, it's nice,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it. But even if that never happened, I wouldn't get offended. I was like, yeah, look, I'm picky. It's good for you to pick this. And then I got Sweeney Todd is coming to Broadway, so I bought some tickets for that as a gift.
Demon Bobber of Fleet Street.
Those tickets are fucking outrageous.
Are they?
I mean, it's just the way it is, Broadway. It's crazy. $200-something a ticket.
I got some vanilla beans.
What else?
I got my mom got me some yellow high top Chucks.
Bright yellow.
Mm-hmm. They're pretty cool looking. I got vanilla bean pods. I got a puzzle.
You love puzzles.
Sure. What?
I got watch bands.
Ooh.
I know that sounds boring, but it's nice to have. You can, since I bought those watches, I have these 2 watches. You change the band. It's like reinventing the watch, and they're so
Totally.
easy to change these days.
My friend Anna got me like a nail kit, like to do fun things with nails.
Fingernails?
Fingernails. Yeah,
Nails.
fingernails.
Yeah, nail.
You know, with like gold leaf and like little dots you can put on there, and fun little things.
Well, cool.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was actually more fun this year. This was, I know I'm maybe too old to be realizing this, but this was the first year where I really enjoyed everybody getting presents. I think with my newfound sort of mental state, I'm no longer clinging to how things used to feel and then trying to recreate that feeling or hoping that feeling comes and that's the only thing that would like legitimize the thing that's happening.
What was the feeling before?
Well, just like always trying to chase some sort of old Christmas feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now that my feet are more planted on the ground, that I feel more excited, like for other people to be getting the gifts I got them, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. I understand.
Yeah. And even if I got nothing, I'd be fine.
You say that.
I know. And this is the first time I really meant it. Mentally, I really thought like, I wasn't thinking about, because I know before I would sort of project the mentality of like, I'm the adult now and don't really need anything, but I would kind of be disappointed in my gifts sometimes. You know, or like if I didn't get enough, you know, it would just be a thought. I wouldn't do anything about it or hold a grudge or whatever, but it would just be a thought. And this time it really was nothing. I was like, whatever. I'm just grateful.
I really don't think I'd care if I didn't get gifts. Like if I felt completely forgotten and ignored, that wouldn't feel good.
Oh, sure. That's totally different.
But if people like reached out and expressed that they cared, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I don't care if you get me a gift or not. I think.
Yeah, it was a cool. I really liked this Christmas because I think I wasn't expecting it to be anything specific. I was more just excited for people to get the things I got them and enjoy them.
Well, it's over. Another one's over.
Yep.
So
that's fine.
On to 2023.
Oof. What are your New Year's plans?
Who knows?
You're gonna go party? You're gonna go to Times Square?
I guess it's going to be warm again. It's warming up again, so.
I know. I was so upset when I looked at the forecast and it was going to be like in the 50s this week.
Yeah, so those people who go to Times Square. I love it when they have to suffer, when they have to show up at 2 p.m. and it's 9 degrees and they have their Depends on and they have to bundle up and they can't go anywhere and they're just stuck there for
can't sit.
10 hours.
That'd be my thing. Like, can I get a chair?
No, you're taking up too much space.
You bring like one of those little camping chairs, those little squat things.
Oh, they pack you in. I'm sure if you tried to go in with a chair, they'd say no, they'd take it away.
Yeah. You're like, I have a condition. Be in a wheelchair.
That could possibly work.
Yes. Also go to Six Flags in a wheelchair or Disney World.
Yeah. And then you get out and you walk to the roller coaster car and you put yourself in.
So long, sucker.
Let's see how long that lasts.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. And hug your loved ones.
Track them. Yeah, track them. If you really love, you'll start tracking.
Yeah. Follow where your kids are.
Destroy all lines of privacy. That's how you show your love.
And don't let us be private. Like and subscribe, rate and review. Share with your friends. Okay, bye.